Think about this for a second. There's this incredible, almost invisible ballet happening constantly. Goods moving from factories, zipping across the globe right to your doorstep. We all rely on it, right?
Yeah.
Often without a second thought. So today, we're going to dig into something really key to making that ballet smoother, faster. We're talking automated truck loading systems, ATLS.
Yeah, and look, we've got this report, the Global ATLS Market Forecast 2025-2033. Our job today, pull out the key stuff for you, kind of give you a shortcut to understanding this market. It's changing fast.
It really is. And, it's more than just robots loading trucks. This is fundamental. It's about a real shift in how stuff moves around the planet. It impacts global trade, supply chains, how quickly you get that package you ordered online. It's a pretty big deal, even if it happens out of sight.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. We're talking about a huge transformation basically happening right there on the loading dock, a big change in logistics.
Precisely. And the numbers back this up, right? The report makes clear this market is, it's really taking off. Globally, it was valued at roughly $586 million back in 2021, projected to hit around $826.7 million in 2025. But here's the real eye-opener. By 2033, it's expected to almost double again. We're talking a remarkable $1.64 billion.
Wow.
That's a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of nearly 9%.
Yeah.
8.975% to be exact. That's solid, consistent growth over a decade.
And that kind of robust growth, I mean, the report really hammers this home. It shows that automating loading docks isn't, a luxury anymore. It's becoming essential. It ties directly into these bigger trends we're seeing everywhere. More automation overall, the drive for smarter logistics, warehouses integrating AI. Companies, they basically see they need this efficiency.
Yeah, huge. Nearly tripling in size in about 10, 12 years. That's not just steady growth. That feels more like a revolution at the dock door.
It really is a fundamental shift.
So where's this happening most? The report breaks it down regionally. And it looks like Asia-Pacific is really, really dynamic, kind of the front runner.
Definitely.
The report calls it one of the most promising regions. Let's see, the numbers, $165.89 million in 21, jumping to $240.98 million by 25, and then projected to hit over $500 million, $509.71 million by 2033. And get this, its growth rate, the CAGR, is the highest globally, 9.816%.
And what's fascinating within that is looking at specific countries. They're not just growing. Some are accelerating even faster than the region overall. China's the giant in terms of market size, right? It goes from about $51 million in 2021 to nearly $160 million projected for 2033. That's huge volume.
Driven by e-commerce and manufacturing there, I assume.
Exactly. The report links it to that e-commerce boom and their big push for industrial modernization. They need the efficiency.
Okay, but then there's this surprise, right? The report points out India's CAGR is actually higher than China's. India goes from $24 million in 21 to $81 million by 33. That's a growth rate of 10.665%, the highest in the whole region.
Yeah, that's really telling. It suggests, maybe a market starting from a slightly lower base, but catching up incredibly fast, leapfrogging perhaps, straight to the latest tech, shows how these developing economies are adopting advanced solutions really quickly. And it's not just them. Singapore's got a KGR over 10%. Southeast Asia as a block is over 10%. The whole region is just embracing this.
Wow. Okay, so Asia-Pacific is definitely setting the pace. How does somewhere like North America compare? More established market, right?
Right. More established, but still showing really solid growth.
The report shows North America going from around $203 million in 21 to almost $540 million by 2033. The CAGR there is strong to 8.467%.
And within that, yeah, the U.S. is the biggest piece of the pie. It goes from roughly $166 million to over $433 million projected.
Yeah.
For the U.S., it's maybe less about initial adoption and more about increasing the density and sophistication of these systems in their existing vast logistics networks they're optimizing.
Got it. And Canada and Mexico.
Also growing well, Canada's actually got a slightly higher CGR than the U.S., interestingly, over 9.2%.
Huh.
And Mexico's strong, too, around 8.6%. So it's a continent-wide trend, really.
Okay, so North America's solid. What about across the Atlantic? Europe.
Europe's showing very steady, strong growth, too, pretty much mirroring that global trend.
The numbers look good. $147 million in 21, heading towards $393 million by 33. CAGR is around 8.6%. Very consistent.
And within Europe, Germany really stands out. The report highlights its performance. Strongest TAGR in the region, I think. Over 9.3%.
Makes sense with their industrial base.
Absolutely. It ties into their strong automation sector and focus on optimizing manufacturing and distribution. The UK is also showing solid growth, almost 9% CAGR.
And it seems pretty widespread beyond them. France, Italy, Spain, all showing steady growth.
Yeah, consistent growth across the board. Even smaller places like Luxembourg and Switzerland are part of this, hitting significant numbers by 2033. It suggests ATLS is becoming, well, standard practice across Europe.
Okay, let's head south. South America, joining the party.
Definitely joining the trend. The market there goes from about $31 million to nearly $91 million by 2033. And the CAGR is actually quite high, 9.33%.
Higher than North America or Europe's average?
Yeah, Brazil's the biggest market, expected to hit almost $32 million. But Chile's growth rate is notable, over 9.5% CAGR. It shows there's real dynamism there, investment in modern logistics.
Interesting. And the Middle East, often a big logistics hub.
Emerging fast in ATLS, too, the market's set to more than triple almost, from $24 million to nearly $70 million by 2033. CGR around 9.2%.
Solid growth.
Very solid. The report points to Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and especially the UAE as leaders. The UAE's projections are particularly strong, almost 9.8% COGR. Reflects their whole strategy, right? Positioning as a global logistics hub.
Right, makes total sense. Okay, last region, Africa, starting smaller.
Yeah, starting from a more modest base, $14.66 million in 2021, but still expected to grow significantly.
To about $42 million by 2033. The CAGR is a bit lower, 8.38%, but still growth.
For sure. And you see clear patterns emerging. Nigeria, South Africa. South Africa actually has a pretty strong CAGR, over 9%. It shows that even where infrastructure might be still developing in some areas, the efficiency benefits of ATLS are compelling. They're investing.
So, okay. We've gone around the globe. We've seen these big numbers, these growth rates. What does this actually mean for people listening? Whether you're in the industry or just, curious about how things get to you.
Well, the big takeaway from the report is undeniable. This ATLS market is booming everywhere. It's global. And connecting the dots for you, this widespread adoption, it's really changing the game for how goods move. It means faster supply chains, more reliable delivery, potentially lower costs down the line. So it affects everything, from the price you pay for electronics to how quickly that online order shows up. It's a foundational shift touching, well, pretty much everyone.
Yeah. The report puts it pretty bluntly. The future of dock loading is automated, efficient, and intelligent. And it seems like that future is arriving very quickly. It really is a remarkable picture. This huge global growth, nearly tripling by 2033, regions like Asia-Pacific, countries like India showing explosive growth rates. It's clear this isn't just incremental. It's a fundamental change.
Absolutely. And thinking about that explosive growth, that shift to automation,
Yeah.
it naturally leads to a question, maybe something for you listening to think about. As these automated systems become the norm at loading docks, what kind of new jobs might pop up? What new skills will be needed in logistics and warehousing that maybe don't even exist today? And conversely, which existing roles might need to, adapt or evolve in response to this wave of automation? It's a landscape that's definitely in flux.
That's a great point. A really interesting thought to chew on as we watch this space evolve. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope this gave you some valuable insights into the rapidly changing world of logistics and automation. Keep exploring.
Welcome, deep divers. Great to have you with us again. Today, we're really zeroing in on something changed in the game in logistics. We're talking about the loading dock automated truck loading system market. ATLS, it's more than just fancy tech. It's fundamentally shifting how goods move.
Yeah, and our insights today are drawn from a really thorough analysis. It's called Automated Truck Loading Systems, Market Dynamics and Future Trends from Market Pulse Insights, powered by Cognitive Market Research. So our mission here is to unpack what's really driving this ATLS adoption, look at the hurdles, the big challenges it faces, and then peek into the future trends.
Okay, let's unpack this.
It really is a fascinating time for logistics. When you ask what's pushing this move to automation, especially at the loading dock, well, efficiency is the obvious first thought. And yeah, that's absolutely a huge driver. The boom in e-commerce, the constant pressure for real-time supply chains, it forces distribution centers to find ways to cut down bottlenecks. ATLS helps massively there. It's not just less manual work, it loads faster, more consistently. Think about fewer misloads, less damaged product.
Right, things that maybe get overlooked sometimes.
Exactly. For a big DC, that reclaimed loss can be, well, astonishing as a hidden cost. So it's not just moving faster, it's moving smarter, maybe even perfectly.
Okay, so capturing those efficiencies, even the subtle ones. But, logistics is still so people-heavy. Is it just about speed, or are there other factors maybe around the workforce?
Oh, definitely. A really critical factor, and maybe sometimes understated, is the growing focus on worker safety. And compliance, too. Think about a traditional loading dock, right? Heavy lifting, repetitive motions, bending into trailers, cargo maybe shifting.
Yeah, sounds risky.
It is. It's ripe for injuries, not just big accidents, but chronic stuff like musculoskeletal disorders. ATLS takes people out of those direct hazard zones. It's proactive, safer workplace, sure, but it also cuts down long-term compensation claims, helps keep staff, which is a huge issue right now, especially vital if you're handling bulky or hazardous materials.
That's a great point about worker health and retention often gets lost in the pure efficiency numbers. Now, thinking bigger picture, is this happening everywhere or just certain regions?
If you connect it to the massive expansion of global warehousing and distribution
Right, yeah.
networks that's fueled by all this international
Yeah.
trade, it creates this urgent need for automation like ATLS. We're seeing it deployed at brand new massive hubs, yes, but also increasingly retrofitted into older high-volume sites trying to keep up. And what makes them so key, really indispensable for modern logistics, is their flexibility. They can handle different truck types, different trailer heights, various cargo shapes, very adaptable.
Okay, those are some really compelling reasons for adoption. But like any big tech shift, there've got to be downsides, right? Friction points. What are the real challenges holding it back?
Right. There are definitely challenges. The elephant in the room for many is the cost,
Mm.
the high capital expenditure. And we're not just talking about buying the machine itself. It's often modifying the docks, changing the layout, integrating it with the warehouse management software. It's a whole project.
Hmm.
For smaller, even mid-sized companies, that upfront cost can be pretty daunting. And, getting that return on investment, it can take time. So there's hesitation, balancing budgets now versus gains later.
So it's the whole package, not just the price tag. Okay, and once you've made that jump, how flexible is this tech really? I mean, every warehouse isn't the same. Cargo differs.
Yeah, you've hit on a really critical point there, compatibility
Mm.
and the need for sometimes quite intense customization.
Yeah.
Warehouses, their processes, they're just not standardized everywhere. So the
Ah.
ATLS often needs tailoring for specific truck models, cargo types, how things are packed inside.
Oh, okay.
And that complexity, well, it adds time and cost to deployment. It can definitely limit how quickly it gets adopted everywhere, especially if you have a really diverse fleet or sort of non-standard ways of doing things.
That makes total sense. The details matter hugely in diverse operations, and relying on all this complex machinery, what if it breaks down? Reliability must be a concern.
It absolutely is. The risk of downtime and then the complexity of maintenance. That's a significant worry. ATLS boosts efficiency, no doubt, but also means you're reliant on that machine. If it goes down, that can cause really costly disruptions, like right through the supply chain.
Hmm.
Plus, you need specialized skills to maintain these things. That can be a real barrier if a facility doesn't have that technical support easily available, either in-house or nearby.
Yeah, those are definitely big hurdles. It's clearly not just a simple plug it in and go solution. But okay, despite these challenges, it sounds like the future is still really bright for ATLS. What's next? What's exciting on the horizon?
Oh, the future is incredibly dynamic. A lot of it is about deeper integration,
Yep.
convergence. One of the biggest trends is blending ATLS with the Internet of Things IoT and these wider smart warehouse ecosystems. So ATLS units are getting packed with smart sensors. They're generating real-time data, feeding into AI that can handle scheduling.
AI scheduling, so more than just booking a slot.
Way more. Think algorithms dynamically adjusting truck arrivals and departures based on, like, live dock availability, what inventory is coming in, even traffic outside the warehouse, optimizing every single minute. And that connectivity also allows for predictive maintenance. Sensors flagging a potential part failure before it actually breaks, turning surprise downtime into planned maintenance.
Wow, okay, so the loading dock becomes part of this bigger intelligent network. That's quite a leap. Does this mean you need a brand new purpose-built facility to get this benefit?
No, not at all, actually. And that's really important. Good news for a lot of businesses. We're seeing a significant rise in retrofitting ATLS into existing warehouses. So instead of the huge cost and disruption of building new, companies are modernizing their current operations. They're installing modular, more adaptive ATLS setups.
Ah, modular, okay.
Yeah, and that trend is making automation genuinely more accessible, more cost-effective for, traditional warehouses, sort of democratizing the tech.
That is a game changer for existing infrastructure. Looking globally then, where is the growth really heating up? Are certain regions leading the way?
Well, if we connect it back to global trade patterns, emerging markets are really stepping up, big time. Regions like Asia-Pacific, Latin America, the Middle East, They're investing heavily in logistics automation right now.
Why them specifically?
Well, think about their growing manufacturing output, increasing exports. They need to handle huge volumes efficiently to stay competitive globally. So they're adopting ATLS rapidly, sometimes even leapfrogging older tech straight to the latest systems.
What an incredible journey we've taken through the ATLS market. It's clear this tech is really bridging the hard realities of logistics with the potential of AI and automation. It's optimizing so much, from safety right through to global trade.
Yeah, it really is transformative. And it kind of leaves you with a big question to think about. As these really sophisticated autonomous systems become, the norm, how does that change the actual jobs within logistics? What new roles emerge? And maybe how can this high-tech efficiency become truly accessible, even for the smallest businesses, the independent operators out there in the future?
Really powerful questions to ponder. And just like that, you've got your shortcut to being well informed on this crucial, evolving market. Until next time, deep divers.